Have you ever sat in the middle of your home, looked around and thought, how many times have I cleaned this week already? There was a season in my life when I felt like I was always cleaning, sweeping, folding, wiping, and somehow it never stayed done. Not because I was lazy. I just didn't know where to start anymore. I'd tidy one corner and another one would fall apart. The house felt messy, and honestly, so did my mind. That's why in today's video, I want to share 10 small home organization hacks that helped me keep things neat, lighter for my hands and lighter in my head. I'm not naturally organized, and my home doesn't look like something from Pinterest. But after a lot of trial and error, I've learned that a few small, realistic shifts can make a home feel more livable, calmer, warmer, and easier to breathe in. So, if you're tired of cleaning and still feeling overwhelmed, stay with me for a moment. Maybe one of these little changes will make you smile the next time you look around your home. Let's start with the laundry corner, the place that always feels a little undone. There's something about the laundry area that always feels unfinished. No matter how much you tidy, there's always a basket, a half-folded pile, or detergent bottles sitting out like little reminders of work you still haven't done. I used to think I just needed a better shelf or a prettier container. But the truth is simpler, I just needed it out of sight, but still within reach. So here's what I did. I found an old woven basket at a local market, the kind used to hold rice, and added a simple wooden lid. Now that basket sits quietly in the corner, holding all the laundry pods and dryer balls that used to scatter everywhere. If you don't have a basket, an old metal tin or even a painted rice bin works perfectly. It doesn't have to match your decor, it just needs to close. And the feeling it gives is strange but lovely. You walk past that corner and instead of seeing work waiting for you, you just see calm. Because sometimes organizing isn't about displaying things beautifully. It's about giving your eyes and your mind a place to rest. Now that our laundry corner finally feels peaceful, let's move into the next room, the kitchen, where chaos always finds a way back in. But before we head there, I want to tell you something. Every peaceful corner you create during the day starts to fade when the night rush begins. Dinner dishes, laundry again, it's like the calm unravels before you can even enjoy it. That's why tomorrow I'll share the routine that finally stopped that cycle for me. The evening routine that finally works. It's not a checklist. It's a quiet rhythm that keeps your home from falling apart overnight, and it changed everything about how my mornings feel. So if you've ever wondered why your tidy home doesn't stay that way, that next video is the missing piece. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Next is a spot you might be overlooking: the back of the door. Every kitchen has that one spot that drives you crazy, the oil bottles crowding your counter, the rolls of plastic wrap that never stay put, the towels hanging awkwardly on the oven handle. For the longest time, I thought I just needed a bigger kitchen. But the truth, I just needed to look up and look behind. There's a secret space in every home: the back of a door. It's not fancy, it's not Instagram worthy, but it can hold more than you think. I took a simple wire rack, the kind people usually hang in bathrooms, and fixed it to the inside of my pantry door. Now it holds the things that used to clutter every surface: extra condiments, paper towels, my stash of reusable bags. Everything's right there when I open the door and gone from sight when I close it. It's funny how such a small shift can make a kitchen feel calmer. It's not just the empty counter. It's that quiet moment when you realize, oh, I can breathe here again. And once the kitchen starts to feel lighter, the next place to reclaim is your fridge, that tiny world where clutter seems to multiply overnight. Then we'll move to the fridge, that quiet reflection of how your week's been. There's something about the fridge that reflects your week. When it's messy, you feel it: leftovers stacked on leftovers, containers without lids, things you swore you'd eat and forgot. It's not just clutter, it's a quiet reminder of mental overload. I used to open my fridge and instantly feel tired. Not because it was dirty, but because I couldn't see what I actually had. So one Sunday afternoon, I tried something simple. I gave everything a home and a name. I cut small pieces of white paper, wrote quick labels with a black marker. Breakfast leftovers, fruit and snacks. Then I taped them on clear bins I already had. It wasn't pretty, but it worked. Now, when someone in the family opens the fridge, they know exactly where to put things back. No more "Mom, where's the cheese?" or 3 jars of the same sauce hiding behind each other. It's a small act of clarity, seeing what you have, knowing what's missing, and feeling like you're finally in control of something, even if it's just a shelf. Because organization isn't about being perfect. It's about making daily life a little less exhausting. And once you've created calm inside the fridge, you'll start to notice how that calm spills out right onto your counters and the rest of your kitchen. So let's move there next. After that comes the pot lids and the drawer that rattles like a tiny storm every time you open it. You know that sound, the clatter of metal lids tumbling every time you reach for a pot. It's loud, annoying, and oddly symbolic of how small chaos can wear you down. I used to shove them wherever they'd fit, telling myself I'd fix it later. But later never came. One weekend, instead of scrolling through dream kitchens, I opened my messy drawer and decided to work with what I had. I found an old wooden file organizer, the kind for papers, and stood it inside the drawer. Then I slid my pot lids into each slot one by one. It wasn't perfect, but suddenly I could see everything. No more stacking, no more rattling. Just quiet, clear order. You can use a simple dish rack or even make dividers from cardboard if you don't want to buy anything new. It's not about having fancy storage. It's about reducing those tiny daily frustrations that quietly drain your energy. Because when you open a drawer and everything's right where it should be, your day starts to feel a little lighter too. And speaking of lighter mornings, let's move to the space that greets you first thing every day, your little coffee corner. Now let's look at your morning, where a small coffee corner can shift your whole day. Mornings can feel like a race before the day even begins. Someone's looking for socks, someone else can't find their keys, and in the middle of it all, your coffee routine gets lost in the rush. For years, my mornings started in chaos. I'd reach for the sugar spill, the spoon open 3 different cabinets just to find a mug. It wasn't just messy, it was a stressful way to start the day. So I made a small change. I created a morning corner. I cleared one spot on the counter just wide enough for a tray. On it, I placed the coffee maker, 2 mugs, a jar of sugar, a small spoon, and my favorite candle. That's it. Nothing more. Now, even on the busiest mornings, I don't have to think. Everything I need is right there waiting for me, like a quiet invitation to pause before the day starts moving too fast. And the best part? It's not just about coffee. It's about giving yourself one small, peaceful moment before everyone else needs something from you. When you create small corners of calm like this, the whole house begins to follow that energy. So next, let's carry that same sense of order into a space that's often overlooked, your closet. This next one is about your closet and the visual noise that starts the moment you open it. There's a strange kind of noise that comes from a messy closet. Not the sound itself, but the mental noise every time you open it and think, I have nothing to wear even though it's completely full. I used to have hangers of every shape and color, plastic, wire, wood, all tangled together, like the weeks of my life, busy, mismatched, overflowing. And every morning it made me sigh before the day even began. One day I decided to give my closet a clean slate. I replaced all my bulky plastic hangers with slim velvet ones, soft, thin, all in the same color. It wasn't about perfection. It was about visual quiet. When I opened my closet the next morning, something shifted. The clothes hung evenly. Nothing slipped, and the space finally looked like it could breathe. It's a small change, but it does something to your mood. You start your day with less resistance, less noise, and more space, both physically and mentally. Because sometimes peace doesn't start with meditation. It starts with hangers that don't fight for space. And since we're already in the bedroom, let's take on one more hidden source of frustration, that tangled, crumpled pile of bedsheets we all avoid dealing with. Don't skip the fitted sheets, the little task that makes you feel behind even on a good day. If there's one chore that used to defeat me every single time, it was folding fitted sheets. I'd try, fail, try again, and then just roll them into a ball and shove them into the closet, promising myself I'd fix it later. But later never came. So every time I opened that closet, I saw the same messy pile, a small reminder that I was behind even on the simplest things. Then, one evening, I decided to learn one proper way to fold them, not the perfect Pinterest version, just a method that worked for me. I laid the sheet flat on the bed, tucked one corner into another, smoothed the elastic edges, and folded it into a neat square. Finally, I slipped it inside one of its matching pillowcases, so the whole set stayed together like a little package of calm. Now when I reach for clean sheets, they're ready, quiet, and easy. And that feeling of order where there used to be chaos always makes me exhale just a little deeper. Because peace doesn't have to be big or visible. Sometimes it's just knowing that even the smallest corner of your home is cared for. And when those hidden corners are under control, you start noticing all the little things that used to trip you up, like that one messy cord by your bedside. Let's pause for a moment with your charging cords, the tiny tangle that ends your day with a sigh. It's such a small thing, a phone cord slipping off the nightstand, hiding under the bed, or tangling around everything it shouldn't. But when you're tired, that little mess can feel much bigger than it is. For me, it used to happen every single night. I'd crawl into bed, reach for my charger, and end up half hanging off the side of the mattress trying to find it. It sounds silly, but it always ended the day with a sigh, that quiet, invisible frustration we carry without noticing. One evening, I decided I was done losing the charger war. I took a small wooden clip, the kind used for hanging laundry, and glued it to the side of my nightstand. Now the cable stays in place, always waiting where I need it. You can do the same with a reusable adhesive hook, or even a piece of tape looped backwards, simple, free, and surprisingly effective. And the first night I used it, I realized it wasn't just about the cable. It was about ending the day without one more thing out of place. Because those small hidden annoyances, when left alone, can slowly drain your peace. Now when I plug in my phone and the cord stays right where it should, it feels like a small victory. Quiet, ordinary, but deeply satisfying. And speaking of small victories, let's move to the first space that greets you when you walk in the door, the entryway, where clutter tends to collect before you even notice. Before we wrap up, let's visit the entryway where clutter shows up before you even realize it. You know that moment when you walk in the door, hands full, shoes half on, keys somewhere in your bag, and before you know it, everything ends up scattered across the counter. That was my everyday reality. By evening, it looked like the house had exploded in tiny ways. Receipts, sunglasses, mail, random hair ties. I used to get annoyed with myself, thinking I just needed to be more disciplined. But discipline isn't the problem, systems are. If something doesn't have a home, it will always find a way to wander. So, I created one simple rule for our entryway. Everything small gets a landing place. I cleared a corner of the shoe cabinet and added a shallow woven tray. That's where keys, wallets, and mail go the moment we walk in. I even placed a small bowl for loose change and a tiny vase, not because I needed it, but because it made that spot feel intentional. Now when I come home, I drop everything there. And somehow that single motion setting things down where they belong feels like drawing a line between outside and inside. It's not about perfection, it's about transition. That gentle reminder that you've arrived, that the day is done, and that your home is ready to hold you again. And once the entry feels grounded, there's only one last detail that truly makes a home feel soft and complete. The small touches that bring warmth back into the space. And finally, a candle corner. A soft little ritual that says, you're allowed to rest now. Every home needs one small corner that feels like a deep breath. Not because it's perfectly styled, but because it reminds you to slow down even for a moment. For me, that space started with something simple, a small glass jar, an old candle, and a few matches. I cleaned the jar, peeled off the label, and glued a strip of the matchbox to the bottom. Now, when I want to light a candle, everything I need is right there, quiet, simple, complete. It's a 5-minute project, but it changed the energy of the whole room. Because now, when I strike that match at night, it feels like I'm signaling to myself the day is done. It's okay to rest. You don't need fancy candles or expensive scents. Even a small tea light tucked beside a plant or a favorite book can bring that gentle warmth that says, this space is cared for. And maybe that's what home really is. Not spotless floors or matching containers, but those little rituals that remind you that your space and your life are enough just as they are. So as you finish this video, maybe look around your home. Find one small corner that could use a little softness. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to feel like you. That's how I've learned to keep my home and my mind a little lighter. Not by doing more, not by chasing perfection, but by paying attention to the tiny things that quietly shape how we live. Because sometimes peace doesn't arrive all at once, it sneaks in through the small habits that make your space feel safe again. If you're watching this and feeling a little tired, like you've been trying to stay on top of everything, but somehow always fall behind, I get it. You don't have to fix your whole home. You just need one small shift that reminds you you're capable, and you can begin again gently. Maybe it's clearing a corner, lighting a candle, or finally giving your keys a place to belong. If even one of these ideas helps you exhale a bit deeper or makes your home feel softer to come back to, then that's already enough. And if you're ready for the next step, I've made another video about slow evening routines. Simple habits that help your home reset overnight so mornings start calm. You can find it linked right here when this one ends. And if today's video gave you something useful, something small but real, you can tap like or subscribe. Not for numbers, but so I know these quiet changes are reaching someone who needs them. Because that's what this space is for, not perfect homes, but peaceful ones. And if today helped you make your space a little lighter, then tomorrow we'll take that calm a step further. In my next video, the evening routine that finally works, I'll walk you through the small habits that quietly reset your home overnight, so you wake up to a space that already feels ready for you. It's one of the most powerful shifts I've ever made, and once you try it, you'll wonder how you ever ended your days without it. So make sure you come back tomorrow. Your future morning will thank you for it.